The only 4 exercises you need for 3D shoulders. Large and well-developed shoulders are absolutely essential for building that masculine V shape that everyone desires. When you have wide, strong shoulders, they create a powerful visual illusion that makes even your arms appear larger and your waist slimmer. Here's an interesting fact. Scientific studies show that shoulders are among the muscles women value most in the male physique. Well, the fact is that it's practically impossible to have an attractive and aesthetic physique with poorly developed shoulders. Before we begin, please tell us through the comments your name and the city from where you're watching our content. We'd love to know. Exercise number 1, cable lateral raise. The cable lateral raise is possibly the most underestimated yet most effective exercise for developing the wide shoulders we all desire. What makes this exercise particularly valuable is its direct focus on the lateral deltoid, the portion of the shoulder that creates that appearance of width and dimensionality everyone seeks. When we talk about 3D shoulders, we're mainly talking about the balanced development of the 3 portions of the deltoid, but it's the lateral deltoid that creates that visual impact of wide, powerful shoulders. The beauty of the cable lateral raise lies in the constant tension it provides to the lateral deltoid throughout the entire movement. Unlike dumbbells, where resistance varies as the lever arm changes during the movement, the cable maintains uniform tension from start to finish. This is a concept called constant force vector, which maximizes muscle activation and the stimulus for hypertrophy. The cable creates a tension line that runs parallel to the direction of the lateral deltoid muscle fibers, making this exercise absolutely essential and irreplaceable if you want wide shoulders. To perform it correctly, position yourself sideways to the machine with the cable adjusted to waist height or slightly below. Hold the handle with the hand furthest from the machine, maintaining a slight bend in the elbow that should remain fixed throughout the movement. The secret is to raise the arm laterally until it's parallel to the floor or slightly above, without ever exceeding the shoulder line. During the elevation, keep the wrist neutral or with the thumb pointing slightly upward, as if pouring water from a cup. This small external rotation helps engage the lateral deltoid fibers more efficiently and reduces stress on the rotator cuff. For training volume, I recommend 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions with a weight that allows maintaining perfect technique. Unlike other larger muscle groups, the deltoids, especially the lateral portion, respond very well to moderate to high repetitions, with emphasis on perfect execution rather than very heavy loads. As an extra tip, after normal repetitions, you can add some partial repetitions in the upper third of the movement, where lateral deltoid activation is maximum, taking the muscle fibers to complete exhaustion. A common error I see many people make is allowing body momentum to assist in the movement, leaning the trunk or using the trapezius to initiate the elevation. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel the isolated burn in the lateral deltoid without excessive tension in the neck or trapezius. Remember that the eccentric phase of the movement is as important as the concentric. Control the return for 2 to 3 seconds to maximize time under tension and the stimulus for hypertrophy. Number 2, reverse fly on the machine. The reverse fly on the machine is a fundamental exercise to complete the 3-dimensional development of your shoulders, with special focus on the posterior portion of the deltoid. This is one of the most neglected muscles in conventional training programs, and, when underdeveloped, compromises not only the aesthetics of the shoulder as a whole, but also the health and stability of the joint. The importance of the posterior deltoid goes far beyond appearance. It is crucial for the muscle balance that prevents injuries and improves posture. To perform the reverse fly on the machine correctly, sit facing the chest support of the pec deck or fly machine. Adjust the bench so your arms are parallel to the floor when holding the handles. The movement consists of opening the arms horizontally, moving them away in an arc backward, as if trying to bring the shoulder blades together. Throughout the movement, maintain a slight bend in the elbows to reduce stress on the joints and direct the work to the posterior deltoids. I recommend 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions, always focusing on the quality of movement and the mind-muscle connection. As the posterior deltoids are predominantly composed of slow-twitch fibers, they respond better to moderate to high volumes of repetitions with adequate time under tension. Control especially the eccentric phase for 2 to 3 seconds to maximize the stimulus. The main errors to avoid are using excessive weight that compromises the range of motion and allowing the trapezius or rhomboids to dominate the exercise. You should feel the specific work in the posterior part of the shoulders, not primarily in the back. Proper posture is fundamental. Keep the chest up, the spine neutral, and avoid leaning forward during the movement. This exercise is safe for most people, but those with previous rotator cuff problems should start with light weights and check if there is no discomfort during execution. The beauty of this movement lies in its ability to effectively isolate the posterior deltoid with minimal risk of injury compared to free movements with dumbbells. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress with health in the long term in the bodybuilding world. Number 3. Shoulder press with dumbbells. The shoulder press with dumbbells is a classic and indispensable exercise that deserves its place among the 4 essential movements for 3D shoulders. This will be the only exercise in the workout focused on the anterior deltoid, and this happens for a strategic reason. We already train this portion a lot in chest-focused movements, such as bench presses and flies, while we don't train the lateral and posterior deltoid as much in other exercises. Therefore, we dedicate 2 specific exercises to the lateral deltoid and only 1 to the anterior, seeking proportional development. The dumbbell press offers a crucial advantage over the barbell version, the unilateral work that allows correcting imbalances between the right and left sides. This characteristic is particularly valuable for shoulders, a complex joint where asymmetries can lead to postural problems and increased risk of injuries. Additionally, dumbbells allow a natural rotation of the wrists during the movement, significantly reducing stress on the joints. To perform correctly, sit on a bench with a backrest that provides support for the lumbar spine, keeping the feet firmly on the floor. Hold the dumbbells at shoulder height, with palms facing forward or slightly facing each other. The movement consists of pressing the dumbbells upward in a straight line or in a slight arc, until the arms are almost completely extended. In the final position, the dumbbells should be aligned above the shoulders, not in front or behind. I want to make absolutely clear, never do this exercise behind the head. This variation puts the shoulder in an extremely vulnerable position, practically putting a foot in the injury. The behind-the-head position forces excessive external rotation that can compress sensitive structures and drastically increase the risk of impingement syndrome and other rotator cuff injuries. The main errors to avoid include excessively arching the lower back to assist in the movement, using momentum from the legs, and allowing the dumbbells to fall too far forward or too far back during the descent. Keep the core contracted throughout the movement to stabilize the spine and better isolate the deltoids. I recommend 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions. For presses, a moderate load with perfect execution brings better results than excessive weights with compromised form. Remember that the main objective is to stimulate controlled hypertrophy, not simply move the heaviest possible weight. This exercise is contraindicated for people with recent history of shoulder injuries without medical clearance. For beginners or those with limited mobility in the shoulders, start with light weights and partial amplitude, progressing gradually as technique and strength improve. Number 4. Lateral raise with dumbbells. The lateral raise with dumbbells is an absolute classic in shoulder training, and believe it, classics, as much as everyone does them, give a lot of results. This exercise perfectly complements the cable lateral raise by working the lateral deltoid from a different force vector, ensuring the complete development of this crucial portion for wide and impressive shoulders. The combination of these 2 exercises for the lateral deltoid is not redundant, but strategic to maximize muscle growth through varied stimuli. When performing, the recommendation is to focus on less weight and more repetitions with correct movement. An extremely common mistake is using excessive weights that force the practitioner to cheat the movement, primarily activating the trapezius and losing focus on the lateral deltoid. For ideal execution, stand with knees slightly bent and hold dumbbells at the side of the body with a slight bend in the elbows that should be maintained constant throughout the movement. Emphasize closing the scapula to avoid cheating and not moving the trunk during the elevation. Stabilization of the scapulae is crucial to direct the work exclusively to the lateral deltoids. Imagine you're trapped between two glass plates and can only move your arms laterally, without any body swaying. Raise the dumbbells until your arms are parallel to the ground, keeping the wrists in a neutral position, or with a slight external rotation. For training volume, I recommend 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 20 repetitions. The lateral deltoid responds exceptionally well to higher repetitions with moderate loads, prioritizing perfect technique over maximum weight. Practically, this means it's better to do 20 repetitions of lateral raise with 18 pounds than 8 struggling reps with 22 or 26 pounds. The main errors to avoid include raising the dumbbells above the shoulder line, initiating the movement with body momentum, and not controlling the eccentric phase. Remember that the controlled descent is just as important as the ascent to maximize muscle stimulus. Now that you know the exercises you need for amazing shoulders, we need to ensure you don't make the main mistakes many make when training shoulders, which unfortunately, even doing the correct exercises, sabotage progression. Besides the error of ending up doing uneven volume due to greater focus on the anterior deltoid, there are 4 other main ones. Error number 1. Allowing the trapezius to do most of the work. A common problem is allowing the trapezius muscles to dominate exercises intended for the deltoids, such as in lateral raises. When you start to cheat and the trapezius excessively comes into action, it limits the effective work of the deltoids. The main errors include lifting the weights too high or using excessive load, causing change in posture and activation of the trapezius. To maintain focus on the deltoids, use weight that you can control without swinging the body or using momentum. The correct sensation is that the arms are moving in isolation, without assistance from other muscle groups. A useful body awareness exercise is to perform some light sets of lateral raises in front of the mirror, concentrating on keeping the trapezius completely relaxed throughout the movement. Avoid raising the arms above shoulder height and consciously keep the shoulders pressed down during the exercise. Think about creating space between your ears and shoulders while performing any movement for deltoids. This simple mental cue can do wonders to disengage the trapezius and redirect the focus to the target muscles. Number 2. Doing too few repetitions. One of the most common errors that limit the full development of the shoulders is insisting on low repetitions with excessively heavy loads. The shoulder, especially the lateral and posterior deltoid, reacts exceptionally well to more repetitions and prolonged time under tension. Many practitioners get stuck in the paradigm of using heavy loads in ranges of 6 to 8 repetitions for all muscle groups, without considering the physiological particularities of each muscle. The science of hypertrophy shows us that different muscles have different fiber compositions and, consequently, respond better to different training protocols. The deltoids, especially the lateral and posterior portions, have a higher proportion of slow-twitch fibers compared to muscles like the pectorals or quadriceps. These fibers are better stimulated through longer series with higher volume of repetitions and adequate time under tension. An effective strategy to implement this concept is to work in the range of 12 to 20 repetitions for isolation exercises such as lateral raises and reverse flies, and 8 to 12 repetitions for compound movements like the press. Also try techniques like drop sets and partial repetitions at the end of sets to further increase time under tension and metabolic stimulus, factors that the deltoids seem to respond particularly well to. Number 3. Leaving shoulder exercises for the end of the workout. It's common to leave shoulders for the end of the session, especially in workouts that combine chest, shoulders, and triceps. When shoulders are exercised after other larger and more demanding muscle groups, the accumulated fatigue compromises their ability to be adequately stimulated. Performance in exercises performed at the end of the workout tends to be inferior to those executed at the beginning, when energy and strength are at maximum levels. This approach is particularly problematic when we consider that the deltoids are relatively small muscles that require high quality of contraction and mind-muscle connection to be effectively stimulated. When you reach the shoulder exercises already fatigued from long series of bench presses and other variations for chest, your ability to generate specific tension in the deltoids and maintain perfect technique is significantly compromised. An effective strategy is to dedicate an exclusive training day for shoulders, allowing them to receive full attention without competing with other muscle groups. Alternatively, if you prefer to maintain the traditional grouping of chest and shoulders, consider alternating the order. In one session, start with exercises for chest. In the next, prioritize the shoulders. This simple restructuring of the exercise order can make a big difference in shoulder development in the long term. Number 4. Not training with full range of motion. Many practitioners make the mistake of not performing exercises with full amplitude, especially in overhead movements. When performing partial movements, such as not lowering the weight completely, you fail to stimulate all the muscle fibers of the deltoids. This happens because people prioritize heavy loads that they cannot properly control. Full range of motion is fundamental for optimal muscle development, as it allows the complete stretching of the muscle under load and its maximum contraction, two crucial factors for maximizing the hypertrophy stimulus. In the specific case of the deltoids, working with limited amplitude means that certain muscle fibers never receive adequate stimulus, resulting in incomplete and disproportional development. Reducing the load and focusing on movement quality ensures better muscle stimulation and significantly reduces the risk of injuries. The focus should be on adequate muscle tension, not on feeding the ego with excessive weights. A useful rule of thumb is to select a weight with which you can complete at least 2 to 3 repetitions more than your goal, thus ensuring that each repetition is performed with perfect technique and full amplitude. To implement this concept, consider including some calibration series with very light weights at the beginning of the workout, focusing exclusively on the sensation of full amplitude and on the mind-muscle connection. This practice not only improves your technical execution, but also increases blood flow to the area, preparing the joints for the more intense work that will follow. If you liked this, and also want to discover the only 6 exercises you need for a titanium chest, we've left a video appearing right now on the screen, showing each one of them better. Don't miss out. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.